Hello and welcome to Hampshire Field. It's game one of the Blair spring season here on Strive Network as the Blair Buccaneers are set to take on the Lenape Valley Patriots here live from Blair Academy alongside Derek Raymond. I'm Tom Monfiletto. The Buccaneers come into the game 4-6 on the year. The Patriots come into the game at 8-4. Blair coming off a tough loss to Sparta on Monday, 11-6. But this is a Blair team, Derek, that is relatively young but extremely talented, and a team that, no matter how many goals they can put up in a game, has the ability to score 10 to 15 per game. They have that much offensive firepower.
And it's spread out over a number of different guys. I mean, you had in Sparta's game, you had Hoffman scoring, Marcus scoring, Collins, and then versus Petty, you had Marcus with 3. Against Hill, Marcus with 4. So it seems like Marcus is going to be the powerhouse and the offensive drive of this team. But look for him to spread it out and for the entire team to support him. And you're right, this team can easily score 10 goals in the blink of an eye.
Griffin Marcus is committed to Franklin and Marshall University. He'll be going there next fall. He'll be playing lacrosse there. He's from Mendham. He's transferred from Mendham High School. It's his first year at Blair. He is the attackman, as you said. Chipped in goals against Sparta. PDS had 4 against Hill, 3 against Kittatinny. He has been outstanding for this team all season long. He is one of 4 captains, along with Chris Powers, the senior from Plandome, New York, JC Phillips, the goaltender, senior from Sparta, New Jersey, and also Matt Collins from Long Island. He is also he was a new junior last year. He's a senior this year. He also has a ton of ability on the offensive end, can really score, and is an absolutely outstanding talent for this Buccaneer team. So head coach Teddy Wenner is in his first year as head coach of the Blair Buccaneers. And we got a chance to meet up with Coach Wenner before the season started. We'll hear from him at halftime as we talked about his expectations for the year, as he talked about some of the key contributors to the team and other things regarding the program. He played his lacrosse at Army, and he is also the Associate Dean of Admissions. He was the assistant coach last year, taking over the program this year, shooting to get this team, catapult this team over 500. So they have a pretty tough task ahead of them as they take on the Lenape Valley Patriots, who are 8-4 on the year, coming off a resounding victory against High Point on Monday by a score of 17-4. So it should be a good one, and we will bring it to you as soon as the opening exercises get through here. We'll be back on campus tomorrow. We will be streaming the Blair baseball game, the Maple game against the Petty School. Very excited to do that. This is a baseball team that's 11-3. They came in with sky-high expectations, and they have met every single one of them and probably exceeded them as well, and they're starting to get hot at a really opportune time. On Saturday, we'll be back here at Hampshire Field, and we will be broadcasting live the girls' lacrosse game as they take on the Sparta Spartans. And then Sunday we'll be back here on Wakefield Diamond as Blair plays host to Salisbury School, a team that has 8 Division I players on it. So there's going to be a lot of talent on that field. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great week here at Blair Academy.
And hopefully after the monsoon that we had yesterday into last night, that the field gets nice and dry. I see the pumps out right now pumping some water, but hopefully this weekend will call for some great baseball action on Sunday.
There is a small waiting pool as Matt Collins fights for the faceoff, but Lenape Valley able to take control of this. Down in the Blair zone. And we'll see this ground ball being picked up by Lenape Valley. That's big number 41, Bradley Carpenter, the senior midfielder for the Patriots. Some physical play here by Collins. And we're going to have our first penalty of the game.
Already.
You see Matt Collins, Zach Hoffman fighting for the ball, being very aggressive. And it looks like Collins is going to head to the box. And in comes number 13, Chris Wilson, our boy from Lake Forest, Illinois, who is a postgraduate on the football team, one of the key contributors to that football team that won a Maple championship this year. As we take a look at the foul
push from behind for sure.
So good aggressive play to start off the quarter here. And number 21, Jake Groves, the freshman from Riverside, Connecticut, enters the game for the Bucs. And this one will be brought into play, just over 11 and a half to go. Working it around the perimeter, so to speak, is Lenape Valley. That's John Gavla, the big senior midfielder there on the left wing at the top. You see number 26, Sam Byrne. Gavla, and this one mishandled, but able to pick it up is number 10, Michael Conrad. And this one fired on, and this is way off the mark, and it looks like it will remain in Lenape Valley's possession, as Cooper Clark was unable to reach his stick out far enough for Blair to get another possible turnover here, but picked up by Lenape Valley. Shot on goal, and the first score of the game goes to the Patriots.
That's a quick move by the Patriots off of a kind of fumbled pass attempt. We'll get another look here. You can see the pass was kind of knocked down, almost taken away by number 18 on Blair, but a couple of quick moves and a nice low, hard shot gets Lenape Valley first on the board.
Oh, Collins will take another face-off here. Penalty kind of loomed large in that situation, and he will control it now and get things going for the Blair offense. Bring it back out. And this will go to Lenape Valley. Number 43, Joe Dulio, the senior, controlling it now for the Patriots. Thinks about ripping a shot from far away, but decides to pass it along. So that's to Ryan Chazik, who works it back over to Michael Conrad. And this will go to Brian Galligan behind the net. Galligan entered the game shirtless, showing off his menacing rib tattoo, making his presence felt as this one is dropped to the ground, and it looks like that's Cooper Clark who controls it for the Buccaneers. He will cross midfield, and he's got some numbers. And Clark will try to get it down to Kemp, and this will travel out of bounds. So a little bit off the mark with that pass there, as Kemp unable to control it. Lexi Kemp has been a bright spot for this offense. He had 5 goals against Kittatinny earlier in the year, dropped in 2 against Del Val, 1 against PDS and 1 against Petty, key contributor on this Blair offense. As Galligan now controls it for Lenape Valley. That was number 18, Ben Sisler, giving him some grief, along with Richard Erlinson on Conrad. And a great job by Erlinson to get the ball out of Conrad's stick, but this will go back to Lenape Valley's possession. Some good positioning in front. That's Dulio, but unable to control it, and this battle will be won by Cooper Clark once again. So another ground ball there by Cooper Clark, and he's going to try to get things going here for Blair. Hoffman enters the game for Blair as Collins brings it across midfield. Collins guarded by Hayden DuPont. Midfielder, the junior from Lenape Valley. Hoffman, a dangerous offensive threat as well. As to pull a spin move here, and this one will go, well, Morrison will keep it in bounds. Patty Morrison, a.k.a. Patty Moe, the sophomore attackman for Blair, has had an excellent 2 years here for the Buccaneers from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And the goaltender, Dan Hostler, the senior for Lenape Valley, will get this all the way to JC Phillips, the senior goaltender for Blair Academy. Phillips, one of the 4 seniors on this Blair team. Very talented player as Hoffman enters the game once again. Patty Moe on the left side will bring it behind the net. Oh, that's Patty Moe. I'm sorry, that was Griffin Marcus who handed it to Patty Moe. And this is Lexi Kemp.
And this is what Blair needs right now. They need to be able to set up and settle down and kind of just move the ball and try and set up a nice play. They haven't been able to do that thus far.
Marcus to Hoffman. Hoffman.
I think that was deflected.
Yeah, this will go off of number 6, Bailey Ressa, the junior defenseman for Lenape Valley. You know, that probably did not feel too great as Hoffman was able to get a little bit of heat on that. Morrison looking for Collins in front of the net, but decides to kick it back out to Marcus. And Marcus thinks about the handoff to Hoffman. Now finds Kemp, and Kemp gets this one knocked away. So a good look there by this Blair offense. Thwarted by Dan Hostler. And now all the way on the other end, that could have been dangerous. But JC Phillips comes out of the net and saves it for Blair Academy. Takes a big hit. Now he's on the ground. Picked up by Blair. This one picked off once again and stopped by R.J. Stein. An excellent defensive play. Conrad, this one off the mark, and Lenape Valley will maintain possession. Apologize for our score clock malfunctioning. We have 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go here as we reset that. Lenape Valley in the lead by a score of 1-0. That was excellent defense, gutsy defense by R.J. Stein, the junior out of South Carolina.
Yeah, it was a really good move of Stein to step in and take the spot of his downed goalkeeper.
Here comes Clark with those long strides, gets it to Marcus. Marcus down low to Kemp, and Kemp unable to control it as Clark gets back onto defense, but here comes an opportunity for Blair. Patty Morrison picks it up. And a timeout will be called. So we will have our first stoppage in play with 5.5 to go here at Hampshire Field. Been an aggressive first half. Pretty scary first half. Ball's been all over the place. It's been a battle of the ground balls, and the first goal was won off of a ground ball that was taken by Lenape Valley.
Yeah, Blair's really got to settle down here and start to make crisp passes, because right now I've seen on a couple of occasions that their long stick defensemen end up sprinting down and they don't have any help. So they need to regain a little bit of composure and start setting up, start cycling around the net and looking for open guys. I mean, that's how you're really going to generate some scoring opportunities here. And they've had a few, and unfortunately for Blair, they've been deflected by the goalkeeper. But again, keep on cycling, keep on getting those open looks.
And that's, I believe, what Coach Wenner is conveying to the troops here as he gathers them. They had a couple of decent looks on the offensive end, some good goalkeeping by the senior Dan Hostler for Lenape Valley, but they had a couple good offensive sets there. Patty Morrison behind the net, which is where he is most dangerous. And they look to kind of maximize those opportunities and the spacing near the net on the offensive end. So far, probably the biggest standout for Blair Academy has been Cooper Clark. He's been all over the field, hustling for ground balls, getting it across midfield, and his athleticism is pretty outstanding for his size. I mean, he's one of the taller, most imposing figures on the field, and he's playing like it.
I think during that timeout we had a random stick check by the referees. I think they caught something on one of the Lenape Valley players' handles that was just taped up. So
a little pine tar on the neck, if you will.
It may be. We're all legal now, though, it seems.
Collins will control it now, and he'll get it back to Morrison. Morrison will go to work behind the net. Morrison setting up a play here for the Bucs, as they will get wide and spread out this Lenape Valley defense as much as they can. Collins into the zone, fires this one in. Matt Collins gets on the board for Blair Academy. Beautiful shot, had a little bit of space. That's all he really needed, and he had nothing but net behind that one. So Matt Collins gets the Bucs on the board. We have a 1-1 tie so far here in the first quarter with 5 minutes to go. And we're going to take another look at Collins' flame throw into the goal here.
Yeah, this really starts out in open spacing. He just decides to put a move on and take it himself and rip some high cheddar.
Yeah, he gets some good push off of that back leg and unloads into the Lenape Valley goal. Lenape Valley on the offensive end for the first time in what feels like a long time. Galligan controls it, the senior attackman for the Patriots. And he'll work it back out to Ryan Chazik. Gavla out in front, being pestered by Collins. Collins also a member of the swim team, Derek. He was the captain of the swim team.
That's right. We actually covered a couple of swim events here in the winter.
We did, two to be exact, against Pennington and High Point. Took home the victory against High Point. Matt Collins, a leader in, just kind of picked up swimming. I think this might have been his first year swimming. And to be a captain your first year playing a sport is pretty impressive.
I think that shows just how much a leadership character that he plays. In whatever sport he does, he just takes on a leadership role.
Gavla putting a move on Collins. Collins misses. Lets Gavla get in front of him and tries the old back swipe to no avail. And Gavla is able to throw this one past JC Phillips. So that'll be the second goal of the game for Lenape Valley. And just like that, they answer quickly to get back on the board. So Lenape Valley now back in the lead 2-1.
Yeah, and we'll take a look from the side cam here. He was just able to get some space early. You see him at the top of your screen. He'll come back in a second, but puts the brakes on, quick turn, and a fire.
Good move, and Collins just misses the stick right there. Could have been a turnover, but instead, high risk, high reward play turns into a goal on the other end. Phillips will now control it, and he will get. He just misses Cooper Clark. Galligan now. Galligan, some great size and athleticism. A beautiful pass. And this one will end up in the back of the net as well. Tremendous ball movement starting from Galligan, then going to Conrad, and eventually over to Evan Cartwright, the senior for Lenape Valley, who puts this one in the back of the net. Another phenomenal possession for Lenape Valley. 3-1 is our score.
And I want to show you right here, just look at you've got two Lenape Valley players just kind of hanging back with only one guy between them. And then before you know it, there's the ball, and they've set up, and it's a goal. So really, Blair can't rely on their one long stick defenseman back there to shoulder the entire defensive load.
Stein is a very impressive player, but impossible to cover two guys at once, as Lexi Kemp now brings it from behind the net. And Blair looking to answer. Down 3-1. Zach Hoffman tries this one from about 10 yards out, and it'll get knocked away. And the race to the ball is won by Lenape Valley. And they're going to try to clear it out, but Morrison just misses it behind the net. And Lenape Valley will call a timeout. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go here. So both teams with the timeout. As probably a good call by head coach Ed Schumann there to get things settled down, as a turnover there could have proven to be very, very costly.
And that's what it was looking like. Blair was really pestering in Lenape Valley's backfield behind the net, and it did cause a turnover. Unfortunately, Blair couldn't come up with it and capitalize, so as soon as they got possession, they called timeout. Let's settle things down here and regroup.
So the goals for Lenape Valley, the first one was by a number 25. Unfortunately, we don't have a 25 on our roster. So what we're going to do is we are going to credit that goal to Fred Sharnikow. He is a senior midfielder who's listed as number 35 on the roster. I don't see a 35 on the field, so I'm assuming that they meant 25. Or maybe 25 is the away jersey, 35 might be the home jersey. Be it as it may, Fred Sharnikow, for all intents and purposes, is one of the goal scorers for Lenape Valley. And then we had number 27, Evan Cartwright with a goal, and number 20, John Gula. I'd been calling him Gavla. It's John Gula. And those are the three goals, and obviously the one goal for Blair scored by Matt Collins. So John Gula, I couldn't read my own handwriting there. So my apologies there. And we will get things going just under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Seen this before. Dan Hostler, a senior goalkeeper, coming out to about the 40-yard mark on the football field. And he'll find Sharnikow. And a centering pass is off the mark, which could have been extremely dangerous for Blair. Galligan looking to set something up once again. Galligan extremely skilled with his stick. That's Chazik. Feeds it back over to Conrad. Conrad with a nice pass inside and some great defense there by Blair Academy. And a stick is taken from number 18, Ben Sisler from Short Hills, New Jersey. And this will be Blair Academy ball. Sisler with some great defense, causing his opponent to rip his stick from his possession.
It's like a nice little hit, too.
Phillips will control it. He's going to come out of the net. First lacrosse game I ever saw, Derek. The goalie for Johns Hopkins ran 100 yards down the field and ripped a goal in. It was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen.
I would say that's unconventional, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think you see that very often. It's a weird thing to see as in your first lacrosse game. You know what I mean?
Probably something you'll never see again.
Yeah, but you expect to see it. Out in front, there's going to be a flag here.
Yeah.
No goal. Evan Cartwright on the attempt. And it looks like Chris Powers, one of the captains on this Blair Academy team, will
just kind of bowled him over. Let's see if we could take another look in instant replay here. He'll come in flying from the right side with a head of steam and pretty good intentions. Doink.
So this is a very physical Blair Academy team, but have to try to keep it within the rules here as they are now down a man with a minute 20 to go here in the first quarter. And now Lenape Valley can set up their offense comfortably here. Almost like a power play in hockey, watching the NHL playoffs. And this one goes off the top of the crossbar, deflected by Phillips. And that was shot by Sharnikov from about 20 yards out. Under a minute now to go. Lenape Valley leads 3-1. Galligan finds Conrad. Conrad loses it, gets it back.
Excellent recovery.
Bad pass low to Galligan, but there's nobody around him, so he'll haul this one back in. As now he's being pestered by number 7, Richard Erlinson, the senior from Milford, New Jersey. Back to Sharnikow. Sharnikow with the goal already in this game. And a centering pass. Good defense by Erlinson, but another penalty will be called, as I believe this might have been a push in the back. So Erlinson will head to the box, or they're putting him back in. I'm sorry. They're waving it off. Okay, so they will wave this off. They did not deem this a penalty. Just good defensive play by Erlinson, but Lenape Valley will maintain possession.
Physical, trying to play the ball and the man. So I think that's why they waved that one off.
Sharnikow, guarded by Groves, gets right by him and puts this one
ahead of steam
to the back of the net. Groves unable to thwart his path, so to speak, and he just goes right in for the goal.
You'll see him come flying in from the right here. He just comes in unobstructed and is able to just keep on chugging and put a nice touch on it.
3-1 is the score. We're going to put 4 more seconds back on the clock. And that will do it here in the first quarter of play. So with a score, by a score of 4-1, Lenape Valley leads the Blair Buccaneers. Not the best quarter for your Bucs.
Some things to work on in the next quarter is going to be defensive containment. We saw a number of Lenape Valley players just able to run right through them unobstructed, and that's how this most previous goal was scored. But it's happened on another occasion. Also, you got to watch out for the, I'll call them the cherry pickers, but the guys that are the offensive attackmen that are just hanging back towards the Blair zone, and they on a number of occasions caught the defense off guard and out of position. So they have to work on a few defensive things, and then also on the other side, they have to work on their cycle. They have to get prepared in the offensive zone and start working on executing plays.
Couple penalties that did not go their way offensively. Their efficiency obviously lacked a little bit there in the first quarter as they switch sides now. Not sure if that'll have any effect on it, but we are seeing some good play. We mentioned Cooper Clark. Matt Collins had the only goal for Blair Academy. But on the offensive end, they have to find a way to put the ball in the net, or else there's too much pressure being put on the defense. And this Lenape Valley offense, Derek, seems to be quick enough to provide some serious matchup challenges for the Blair Academy defense.
Yeah, they are very fast, and if I may say so myself, I dig their helmets.
They do have nice patriotic helmets.
Let's see if we can zoom in on one here. You can't argue with that.
They are about 20 days from Memorial Day.
Sure.
And those are beautiful. But we do also quite enjoy
I like the classic white.
The understated, immaculate Blair uniforms.
I like that. Look, just nice, simple, clean, retro almost. Let's hope we can find some offense here in the second quarter for Blair.
Zach Hoffman, you can pick him out from a mile away because of those red elbow pads. Talked to him before the game, asked him why he went with red elbow pads, and he just wanted everybody to know that he puts his blood, sweat, and tears into every single game, every single second. So that's what those elbow pads are.
They used to be white,
signifying
at one point, as you see him anxiously pacing.
JT Correll will be taking the face-off this time for Blair Academy. JT from Easton, Pennsylvania.
I think we have a scoreboard or a clock change on the field right here, I believe.
Correll, only a sophomore. Pitched in a goal against Hill. So he had one, and a tough loss to Hill that took place in the bowl. 12-11 was the score. In overtime, actually.
It seems the clock has been resolved on the field, and we start the second quarter.
We are underway here, and this will be won once again by Lenape Valley. Blair has yet to win a face-off in this game. In the defensive zone for the Buccaneers. Sprinting onto the field is number 13, Chris Wilson. Galligan gets it in the back corner once again, where he has proven to be pretty dangerous. And this one is bounced past JC Phillips, and there goes Clark once again. So all of the offense for Blair so far has started from the stick of Cooper Clark, and as this pass goes out of bounds, Hayden DuPont and Lenape Valley will take over once again. DuPont guarded by Groves. And this pass is low, and it will bounce all the way to the sideline of the football field. But it'll be scooped up by Chazik. Gets it back to DuPont. Playing catch in the middle of the field. Chazik goes back to DuPont once again. Groves on him, the freshman midfielder from Connecticut. Chazik gets past Sisler, but Erlinson gives him a nudge for good measure. And this one by Conrad sails high over the net, and Blair Academy will remain on defense, Galligan, this pass blocked by R.J. Stein. Nice defensive play by Stein, the junior out of South Carolina, and a great pass to Erlinson as he's going to try to get it across midfield for the Buccaneers. So a little bit of urgency on the defensive end for the Bucs as Matt Collins now takes control. Collins weaving his way through the Lenape Valley defense, looking to set something up for the Bucs.
And that was a very nice defensive sequence by the Buccaneers. They were able to contain and prevent them from really penetrating inside the house here. So a very nice job, and a couple of blocked shots as well. As we have, I believe, another scoreboard malfunction. So that's why play is stopped here as we go ahead and try and fix this. It looks like it's back up and running. Let's see if we can pull out here. And it looks like we're good to go. Did we lose a minute on the board, or is that right?
I think that I would probably say is correct. So we'll go off of that. 8.5 to go. And we'll keep it here until we get an official time.
Yeah, I have a feeling our time might have been right because that clock's not running. Officials might be keeping time now as this shot is sailed wide. Blair will remain on offense.
Marcus just absolutely rifled that. Did not touch any part of the goal, however.
All right, so we
so
just
we
heard.
have 8 minutes, so we will fix that on our scoring graphic here.
A defensive stand by Lenape Valley, all but leveled.
Oh, my goodness.
Shot.
A shot from the knees from Matt Collins. Excuse the excessive emotion, but I've never seen anything like that before. Matt Collins fires this one from about 15 yards away. Doesn't get higher than the waist of any defender and finds the back of the net. An outstanding goal here by the senior.
Whew. Laser.
Now that is impressive. The second goal of the game. Blair back to within 2. 7:45 to go here in the second quarter. Collins looking to win a faceoff. And he does, and that is the first faceoff won by the Bucs. And looks like a little bit more energy into this Buccaneer starting lineup. Morrison now makes his way behind the net. He's looking for Marcus, and he is being absolutely pestered by the Lenape Valley defender. Collins gets it again. To hold your collective breath when Collins has the ball, gets this to Kemp, and just like that, Blair is within 1. Lexi Kemp with a goal right in front, assisted by Matt Collins. So Matt Collins in a bit of a groove here, Derek, as Blair comes to within 4-3.
Yeah, another great play that was set up by Collins to Kemp. Here we take another look. Again, the kick out. And the nice quick pass. You can't leave him open like that right in front of the net. That's going to happen every time.
It's a great job by Lexi Kemp sneaking his way in front of the goal as we have 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Powers now picks it up. And Powers is going to go to work now for the Bucs. Powers is moving. And he finds Kemp once again.
These passes are looking so much better than they did in the first. Crisp and on target.
Collins now controls it at the top. Sets up the offense for the Bucs. Marcus back to Patty Moe. Patty Moe in front. A good pass. Kemp unable to control it. And he will be knocked down right at the goal. We have a whistle. And it'll be Buccaneer ball.
Yeah, it'll go to Blair.
Six and a half to go. And this one, another missed opportunity. But Kemp gets it back up off the top of the crossbar. Powers knocked away. Collins up with it now. Collins rips this one.
Unbelievable.
Matt Collins has taken over this game. 4-4 now is the score. So the scoreboard goes down, and this offense heats up.
Well, they should have cut the power in the first quarter, but he will take another look here. Just able to recover ground balls and just another rip.
Matt Collins is looking like a shooting guard in the NBA that is just absolutely on fire, and any kind of space leads to just a daggering three.
Him and Kemp right now are firing on all cylinders.
And this faceoff will be won by the Patriots. Streaking down the right side is Bailey Ressa, the junior. Ressa will come out of the game for Joe Dulio. See if Blair picks up their energy on the defensive end as the offense is beginning to pick up the slack. Sisler gets beat, and this one finds the net. So a goal for Lenape Valley gives them the lead once again. Sisler caught flat-footed.
It would have been really nice for Blair to have a great defensive stand here, really kind of keep the momentum rolling in their direction. And now it's, they're back down again, but we'll see what happens. These face-off wins are actually really important. So Blair needs to keep on trying to win these to force the issue.
And Collins able to scoop this one up, so this one is won by the Bucs. And in the past couple minutes or so, Derek, it's whoever has had the ball has scored. So trading possessions here could be the deciding factor in the game.
Yeah, and I think that's why faceoffs are so important too, because you immediately establish possession.
And this one stopped nicely by Hostler. Shot from Powers. Found the stick of Hostler. Now Lenape Valley on the offensive end. And a good pass, not controlled by Conrad. Erlinson will fight for position, and it will ultimately go back to Conrad. And this pass is not controlled right in front of the net. I believe that was Cartwright for Lenape Valley, who couldn't come up with it. Another ground ball lost to the Patriots. Chazik, guarded by Chris Wilson behind the net. Tries to put a move on him, and he does. Takes a hit, but this one will reach the back of the net. So 6-4 now is the score. We also have a flag on the field.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's going to go on 22 here.
It's an excellent goal. I believe that was Ryan Chazik. A legal check from Chris Wilson after the goal. Chazik shaken up a little bit on the play, but an excellent offensive effort there. Gives the Patriots a 2-goal lead. See Chazik behind the net here, puts a nice juke on Wilson. Wilson gets completely beat. I didn't think that.
No.
Yeah, that was on Erlinson, but they caught Wilson for it.
That's weak.
From this angle, it seemed as if it was Wilson who made the check.
That's a weak call too. He all of his momentum was going backwards. He was going to fall after that shot anyway. Just a little bit of a tug.
Okay, so a timeout is called on the field. The score is 6-4. We have just over 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter, and we're seeing some great spurts from this Blair team, but so far we haven't seen a consistent 5 to 10 minutes put together so far. I know they've only played about 20, but we haven't seen seen an extended period of time this offense or defense or the entire team really clicking. But for short spurts, they can go on fire at any point. They scored 4 goals in a minute.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. And let's take a look at the last two. The third goal scored by Kemp here will go into replay, and we'll take a look. Just being able to create space, opening up the lane in the center. Collins to Kemp for the goal, and then Collins with his second of the game. Or is that his third?
That was his third of the game. Yeah, so Collins with 3 goals so far, 3 of the 4. Lexi Kemp has 1.
That's right. His second goal was that sidewinder of a laser that never went above anyone's waist.
Yeah, that was impressive. That was the most impressive shot that we've seen so far today. Now Lenape Valley will maintain possession here with a man up as Wilson is in the penalty box for the Bucs. So we'll start it up. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Sharnikow starts with it at the top. Conrad gets it all the way across the Blair defense. And those are the passes that can't really happen if you're Blair. This one goes over the net. Will go out of bounds, and Conrad will get it back into play for the Patriots. But those cross-field passes, Derek, that elude the sticks, every stick for Blair Academy, that's what's really been haunting this team so far today.
I think we have
Galligan will be called for a penalty. Not sure who that is. It looks like Groves down there is shaken up. Let's see if we can see what the infraction was.
I wonder if he just popped him in the stomach. Yeah, he did. I think that's what it's going to be, as we'll see here on replay. Look down, number 9 in the middle of the screen. When he turns his back, you'll see a nice pop right there.
Oh boy,
that's dirty.
Yeah, that's rude.
That's a little dirty.
That is illegal. It's extremely rude, and it's okay. You're gonna do that.
He called him.
You're gonna do that to our man Jake Groves, a freshman out of Riverside, Connecticut. Jake Groves is gonna come back with some fire in his system.
Yeah, and a little less wind, but some fire.
Little less wind. So Galligan will serve a 1-minute penalty for Lenape Valley. Six to 4 is the score here. We're going to put, I think, about a minute back on the clock, so we've got about 4 minutes to go here. Marcus, been quiet so far. Hoffman looking for some space, looking for a seam to go through, gets it back to Patty Morrison. Patty Moe with a nice move behind the net, gets it back out to Hoffman, who airmails Collins. Marcus tries to save it, and he does.
What a play.
An excellent play by Griffin. Marcus keeps it alive for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that pass was, I think the stick was deflected a little bit as we get a nice pass.
Oof, a great pass, a great catch by Hoffman, but Hoffman unable to execute on the open shot attempt. And this one will cross midfield for Lenape Valley. A beautiful hit by Erlinson as this goes out of bounds. Going to keep the clock rolling, and it's Blair ball. A great play by Erlinson, a nice clean hit. Gets the ball back for Blair. Have 3 minutes to go here in the first half. 6-4 is the score. Hoffman on the move once again. Hoffman moves very, very quickly. Makes you wonder why he didn't play on this field in the fall. With more pads on.
Yeah, it could have been a running back.
Marcus, this one blocked by Hostler.
All right, some really good looks these past couple minutes. The goalie's doing a great job as that pass from the goalie's mishandled.
And Nate Cool really struggling with the ball. eventually will get it across midfield. No, he won't. A good play by Powers to knock it loose, and now Marcus has it. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Griffin Marcus without a goal so far here today. Slows it down, works from behind the net. Marcus, this one goes back behind the net a little bit to the left. Just not really seeing it well here today, as Lexi Kemp will work it back in for the Bucs. Marcus gets it back, finds Hoffman. Collins laying back. Hoffman with the goal.
Wow, an excellent display of being able to switch hands here and go from righty to lefty and rip a shot.
That's a great point, Derek, showing the dexterity there and the incredible stick skill by Hoffman. And I mentioned Collins hanging back because that in itself, when you have somebody that dangerous, that close, you want to look out for him. You want to account for him is what I'm trying to say.
There's the switch from righty to lefty and able to put it on point here for the 5th goal of the game.
There
for
you
the
go.
Bucs.
And a lot of what just finished what I was trying to say there is that a lot of that space was created by Collins being so dangerous and hanging
Definitely.
back. So a quick whistle. They're going to keep it rolling here, but it will be Lenape Valley ball. Gula gets it to Charnicow. Couple of goals on the game for Charnicow. Assuming this is indeed Fred.
Call him Mr. X.
Gula getting pestered by Stein.
Oh,
Stein knocks his stick out of his hands.
Defensive move.
R.J. Stein set him up perfectly.
For it.
Galligan, also known as Bill Lambier, back into the game. And this ground ball will go back to, won't go to anybody, but it'll remain in possession of Lenape Valley as Gula was giving chase. We have 40 seconds to go here, roughly 40 seconds to go. Charnicow, a nice goal as this bounces in front of Phillips and takes an angry hop into the back of the net. So Charnicow has found the net, I believe, 3 times so far in this game. And the score now 7-5 in favor of Lenape Valley.
Yeah, it's tough as a goaltender, and that's what they teach. Is if you're going to get a shot off, one of your best options is throwing it right at the feet, and that's what has happened on I believe 4 or 5 of the goals here have just been rockets right at the feet, and there's not much you can do other than try and whip that stick down and guess the bounce.
So about 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Carell wins the faceoff, and this is R.J. Stein. Brings it into the offensive zone, falls right on his keister. Gets back to Lenape Valley. Hayden DuPont on the move for the Patriots. DuPont with the centering pass. It is caught and put into the goal by number 6, Bailey Ressa. That was an excellent play, beautifully executed, and a gorgeous pass from DuPont, and a great finish by Ressa.
Just this entire play is a demonstration of speed. I mean, we'll pick it up from all the way behind midline, just never stops.
Check out this pass from DuPont, hits him in stride. Didn't even have his eyes on him at first. On a great catch and a great finish. That was outstanding. That is definitely something to brag about. So under 10 seconds to go here. We assume, because the clock has not been on in quite some time, Patriots have it. Charnicow. And the ground ball is still on the loose. And Stein will pick this one up, and that'll do it here. So the first half comes to an end. Lenape Valley with an 8-5 lead over the Blair Buccaneers. But, Derek, we saw some serious positives out of this Blair offense in the first half.
We did. We saw Blair really turn around from the first quarter into the second. Their passing game stepped up quite a bit. They were able to make crisp, on-target passes, which opened up a couple of scoring opportunities and gave them a number of goals. And also, not so much towards the end of the second quarter, but their defense started to come around, and they started to be able to prevent and contain the unbelievable speed that Lenape Valley possesses.
It was a thrilling first half of play. We had 13 goals scored. We had some flashy goals scored and a lot of great play on the offensive end for both teams, and obviously some great hustle as well. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to show you some of the highlights from our season on Strive from the winter, and you will see plenty of Blair basketball on there. We worked with a bunch of schools throughout New Jersey and Pennsylvania, so you'll see those. You'll see some USA football highlights, and you will see your Blair Buccaneers in there. So we're going to show you our highlight package from the winter, so enjoy that. When we come back, we're going to show you our interview that we conducted with Coach Wenner before the season started. So don't go anywhere. The score at the end of one half is Lenape Valley 8 and Blair 5. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. welcome back to Blair Academy, Hampshire Field, the site of the Blair boys lacrosse taking on the Lenape Valley Patriots as Blair is down 8-5 at the end of one half of play here. But we have had some excellent offensive play. We've gotten 3 goals out of Matt Collins, 1 from Zach Hoffman, and 1 from Lexi Kemp. It has been a back-and-forth game, and it has been a game that Blair has pretty much been in control of when they're on the offensive side. The problems that they have had are letting up some transition goals to this very fast and quick Lenape Valley team, allowing lengthy passes to be made without being molested, and that's really what has troubled this defense so far today. So Blair down 8-5. It is the end of the first half. We're going to now visit with Coach Wenner, and when we did this interview, it was before the season started. We asked him what his feelings were regarding the season, what his expectations were. He's in his first year here as head coach. He was an assistant coach last year. His expectations were high, and he was looking for certain guys to step up. This is what he had to say.
The kids to come together as a unit. That's the biggest thing, is to bond as a team. You can have a lot of individual stars, but if you're not clicking together as a team, it doesn't matter how good you are, because it's not going to be effective. So that's my number one goal, is to connect the kids to one another. I have 2 great assistant coaches, Mike Ryerson and Tim Goggins, and we all 3 together do a great job, I think, in terms of getting that cohesiveness established and then highlighting the individual talents of each kid. Maddie Collins is a 2-year returning senior who's a midi. He's our number 1 scorer last year, first team Maple selection and lead scorer within our second leader in scoring in the Maple. He's obviously a big one. JC Phillips, our goalie, is a 4-year senior, 4-year varsity team member, captain of the team. So is Maddie. So those are 2 guys particularly that I'm going to rely on quite a bit. Maddie on the offense, JC on the defense. And then some young guys, Patty Morrison is a great young attackman, sophomore, who has developed tremendously since last year, and I think with his hard work and effort he puts in the off season will continue to do the same and be a leader on the team in future years. Griffin Marcus, he's a new senior attackman. He'll definitely be a big impact in terms of his effect on the team and the team dynamic. He's a big attackman, and he works really well complementing Patty Morrison and Lexi Kemp, our other 2 attackmen. They each have their own individual strengths and skills, and I think they work really well together. So I'm looking forward to having some big things from him, who also is a new captain this year. From the youngest, most inexperienced guy on JV to the most seasoned veteran on the varsity, I want the guys to know that this is the school program and their program. And so as they progress up through the JV ranks and through the varsity ranks, and some of them will go to college on lacrosse scholarships and some will not, but regardless, that they're walking away as a team committed to not only themselves and their own development, but to one another. Character-wise is a big word that we use here at Blair, and I definitely, through my own interactions with the boys and through the assistant coaches as well, try to create that culture of character and the example that you set on a daily basis. It speaks volumes to who you are, not only as a player, but as a person, and that's big for us.
And so far it seems as if Coach Wenner has been able to convey that message to his squad, as this is a very cohesive bunch. They obviously have not had exactly the successes they've probably wanted coming into this game at 4-6, but they've had some big wins on the season, and they've been able to put it together in some serious ways here. We've even seen a glimpse of it here against Lenape Valley, but their wins against their wins against schools like Warren Hills, like Pennington, the 14-9 victory over Mercersburg at Mercersburg was a good, tough win. So they have some good wins on their schedule. They go into the states. They also have to play Lawrenceville in the state semifinals, which is always a big challenge. But they can, as they progress through the season, these late games, if they get some good wins here, Derek. They can use that momentum and try to beat some of these teams that maybe they didn't think they had a shot to beat it when the season started.
That's really what they need to do. They need to start building confidence in incremental steps. And it doesn't even have to start with wins in games. Just start playing like a team and making efficient and effective moves out in the field that will allow them to build confidence. So, if it's something like defending and maintaining a good defensive strategy, or executing, great cycles that offer them offensive looks, then that's what they need to do to start building confidence that will allow them to win games, for them to maybe later on play against the big boys.
And Matt Collins off to a great start here as he wins the faceoff for the Buccaneers. Collins, 3 of the goals and an assist here for the Bucs. Looking to take over once again. Set out to Hoffman. Hoffman finds Morrison. Morrison with some decent size for a sophomore. Has grown quite a bit since last year. Tries to bring it back out. Now finds himself behind the net once again. He'll get it to Marcus. Marcus with a quiet first half. Looking to get on the board here and gets this one poked away. A great defensive play by Lenape Valley. But this will go back to Hoffman, the top of the zone. Good pass to Collins. Collins with a jump shot off the mark. Didn't have a good view of the goal as he shot that. Marcin comes from behind the net. A good pass to Hoffman. Hoffman can't control it. Powers gets it back to Collins, and they're going to slow it down. Marcus in his spot. This is where he goes to work. Good pass to Hoffman, and Hoffman puts it in. Zach Hoffman, his second goal of the game, found by Marcus. So now they are within 2. 8-6 is the score. They've had some really good offensive possessions, Derek. The trend continues here in the second half.
And that's exactly what they needed, is that they needed to be able to set up and be able to maintain possession for not just 10 to 15 seconds, but a minute or two. And so with them being able to do that, they were able to set up, take a few different shots, get a few good looks, and eventually one will go in.
8-6 is the score now. Blair looking to chip away at this deficit as DuPont now controls it, wins the faceoff for Lenape Valley. Hoffman sprints off the field. Wilson sprints back on. He's racing with Robert Engelhardt, who comes onto the field for Lenape Valley. Cartwright being pestered by Clark. Gets by him. A beautiful stop by Phillips. But he is unaware of the whereabouts of the ball, and it travels past the line, so that it will be a goal. Chalk it up as a goal for Lenape Valley. And we got about 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the quarter.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate. A good stop, a breakdown in the defense again. Lenape Valley is able to take an angle. They're just driving to the goal line, and no one's cycling back around to block the lane back to the net.
And Erlinson was able to see what was going on, but wasn't able to intervene in time. That's why you saw some frustration out of him, as it was just kind of like a slow car accident waiting to see.
Yep.
And it just trickled into the, past the line for a goal. So an unfortunate break of events here for Blair.
And, I didn't – one thing the Blair defenseman could have done is shout that out, at your feet, because then the first thing he would have done is look down and would have seen the ball. So whether they said it or not, I didn't hear it up here in the booth, and we're pretty close, but they've got to help him out.
I was Chazik with the shot, and Phillips with a great play to save that one. Phillips, a 4-year player, as you heard Coach Wenner say. One of the captains of this team from Sparta, New Jersey. He is the leader of the defense here. And this shot is blocked by Hostler, and he will just kind of throw this one aimlessly, and it will be picked up by Collins at midfield.
That was an interesting idea, just to kind of chuck it out there as if it was a goal kick in soccer, just put it out in the middle of the field. But Blair will retain and try and set up here.
Around 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Still plenty of time. Blair to cut into this 3-goal lead from Lenape Valley. And Collins, I don't even think Hostler saw it.
It was a very nonchalant type of goal here. I mean, they were set up top, and no one really marked them. I mean, the same thing I was saying about defensive taking angles here. The same can be said for Lenape Valley. You'll see Collins at the top of the screen to the left, and he's just able to look at all that space, and rips a shot across his body and finds the back of the net.
So Collins, with his 4th goal on the game, is making it look easy as Quashay Hendricks enters the broadcast booth. Always good to see him. And Patty Morrison tries to come up with it, but it is knocked away by Bailey Ressa. Scored an impressive goal in the first half. So 9-7 now the score. Got about 8.5 to go here in the third quarter. Clark defending Cartwright. And it will eventually come back out to Sharnikov, who puts in his 4th goal of the game. So Blair has yet to find an answer for Sharnikov. Good old Fred.
Looks of bewilderment have stricken the Blair defense here. I mean, everyone's just kind of holding their hands up, looking at each other, going, what's going on?
Some excellent shots out of this Lenape Valley team. You're seeing a lot of them utilizing this turf. And some of them getting some decent angles on it, some good spin on the ball, making it extremely difficult for Phillips to be able to predict where the ball is going to end up. Also a decent job screening him and kind of blocking his vision. So just an all-around great effort by this Lenape Valley offense so far here in the second half. And this one from Conrad falls to the ground. Carell gets it to Phillips, and Phillips gets it to Hoffman, and now Hoffman can go to work. Hoffman takes a hearty stick to the elbow from Conrad, gets it into the defensive zone of Lenape Valley, and Blair able to run some of their sets here. Griffin Marcus has it now. Marcus with a nice move to the outside, cuts back to the inside, and just misses this one. Just a bit off the mark. If he was able to keep it in between the pipes there, Derek, I don't see Hostler stopping that.
No, that's a tough shot to stop as it almost dangerous pass, but it opens up a lane.
And there's Collins with some space, but a great save by Hostler. Gets it off of his foot.
That's interesting. I thought for sure number 4 on Blair was well deeper, but I guess my eyesight's no good.
Yeah, so I'm not sure who it was for Lenape Valley who was able to win the race to get closest to the ball as it was going out of bounds on the shot over Pat Morrison. Carpenter sprinting into the game for Lenape Valley, looking for him in the middle of the field there, right in front of Phillips. Galligan defended by Clark, and that's good defense by Erlinson.
Yeah, it's a really good move to push him outside of his shooting angle.
This one picked off by Collins, and now Collins is going to take it across midfield for Blair. And this is where Blair has had an incredible amount of success so far. Marcus with another beautiful look, and Marcus just heaves this one over the crossbar. Marcus has not been on his game exactly here today. But as long as he is afforded those opportunities, he will eventually take advantage of them.
And
You have to assume.
And it's good that he's not getting discouraged right now from taking those shots.
Here comes Marcus once again. Spins back to the inside, looking for a teammate. Takes it himself, and there it is. Griffin Marcus, his first goal of the game, puts Blair back to within 2. 10-8 is the score. And a beautiful job by Marcus, forcing the defender off of him, creating some space for himself, and then ripping it past Hostler.
And that's exactly it. You see him with at the beginning of that play, a nice deep elbow, and again, able to just push off of him, sees his defender slip down, gives him an angle, rips a shot, goal.
So Marcus will continue to go forward here, and they can get him hot, Derek. It's going to be very difficult to stop this high-powered offense. And that's an excellent job by DuPont to flip this one in the air, but there's R.J. Stein, the long stick midi for the Buccaneers, is able to control it for the Bucs. Here comes Powers on the offensive end. Powers gets it knocked away, but controls it once again. A pass inside, unable to be controlled, and it is on the ground, and the fight is won by Lenape Valley. Going out of bounds once again, and it'll be Blair ball. So Blair will have possession here. Blair really fighting on the offensive end to get these ground balls,
and that's
making it extremely difficult for the Patriots to get them.
And that's exactly what they need to do, and this is the time that it needs to start. They can't let this wait until 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They have to start putting the pressure on right now.
Collins looking for the hot Marcus. Here comes Marcus once again. A beautiful move and a great pass inside, and Kemp misses a wide open goal. Morrison battling for position, and he will win this one, so Blair will take control. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Blair trying to get it to within 1. Morrison gets it knocked away, finds Kemp underneath. Kemp with the hesitation and loses the ball. Hostler now controls it for Lenape Valley. Blair missing on a couple opportunities there on the offensive end. Here come the Patriots. Phillips, a beautiful save as he bailed out his defense once again.
That's what Blair needed right there. He needed to bail him out, give him a chance here.
Phillips out of the net, a nice move, and he's going to just airmail Collins, but Marcus comes up with it. Marcus down to his left. Spins back to his right, looking for somebody in front of the goal. He'll take it himself, and this one will go out of bounds, but it will stay in Blair's possession.
There was practically no angle on that shot. I would have been very surprised if that went in, but a good look nonetheless, and Blair retains possession.
If Blair keeps it here, keeps it on this side of the field, Derek, their chances are way better. There's another shot by Marcus. Marcus is going to keep shooting.
Keep firing. That's it.
No matter what, he's going to keep going. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Wise man once said that. I think it was
Michael Jordan?
Bjorn. Here comes Collins. Collins wants to get in on the party, and Matt Collins, you got to be kidding me. 5th goal of the game. He makes it look so incredibly easy. Hostler didn't have a chance. 10-9 is the score, and Matt Collins back on the board once again. It almost seems like Derek, he just kind of decides, you know what?
I'm going to score.
You give me the ball. Watch what I do with it.
And that's what happened. He got the ball up top. He said, this is going to be all me. I got it.
Whew, man.
Again, being able to switch hands and just rip it.
And they're going to call an infraction on Lenape Valley, which will give the win to JT Correll. Cradles it with his left hand. Truck stick on the defender. Gets it back to Griffin Marcus. And Marcus, this one deflected by Hostler. Hostler has done a fantastic job against Marcus's shots, and Marcus is wondering, where is that defense against Collins when Collins is unloading from all points of the field?
Blair unfortunately coughed it up.
It's great defense there by Nate Cool, the sophomore. Gula loses it. Hoffman's got it. And that is a push-off by Hoffman. So we'll be back to Conrad, who gets it to Sharnikow. Sharnikow with 4 goals on the game. This one deflected by Hoffman, and he'll get it himself. Good move by Hoffman. He's going to use the middle of the field. Zach Hoffman weaving in and out of this Patriot defense, and he loses it, but there's Collins, and eventually it gets to Marcus. Griffin Marcus with some space. Lexi Kemp misses it once again.
Blair.
And he hustles to maintain possession for the Bucs in their own zone. My goodness, this is getting exciting.
Yeah, Blair down 1 with just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter here. Has decided the right time to turn it on, and an easy goal by Kemp.
And there we go, Lexi Kemp, the wraparound. Made it look easy, created a ton of space for himself, and just found an opening past Hostler.
And we are all square as we take just one more look at this. Yeah, you decided it's going to be all me.
I don't know if Lenape Valley was expecting a pass, but he just wove right in between the 2 defenders. And an excellent goal from Lexi Kemp. That's his 2nd goal of the game. And it is all tied up here at Hampshire Field.
New life.
10-10 is the score. You have to keep it away from these Lenape Valley attackmen who've been so dangerous all game long, and this is not what you would like to see. But great defense from R.J. Stein. And it is now controlled by Collins.
The attackman lost something there. His stick.
And it must be an unpleasant feeling whenever Collins has the ball in his possession for any opponent. Patty Moe behind the net once again. A great spin move. Finds some space. Finds Hoffman. Hoffman finds the back of the net. Zach Hoffman from 15 yards out. The assist goes to Patty Moe.
And just like that, Blair has taken the lead.
Zach Hoffman, the senior from Atlanta, Georgia, with some excellent wheels, some great skills. We've seen a few goals out of him today. Gives the Buccaneers the lead.
And here we'll see again, just being able to set up. That's the biggest move. Puts the brakes on, feeds it back out front, whistles it on the ground, one hopper in. And face off one by Blair.
JT Carell just bouncing off of defenders. Gets it to Patty Moe. Patrick Morrison, the sophomore from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, can prove to be the catalyst of this Buccaneer offense. Griffin Marcus going to work once again. Eludes a defender, finds Lexi Kemp, and Kemp with another easy goal. Lexi Kemp, his 3rd of the day, puts Blair up 2.
And I just can't keep up with all of this. Again, this is just coming from Patty Moe going behind the net, being able to create some space.
Really set up by Morrison. You see him back off here, and then you just see Kemp weaving his way.
Yeah, there he is, just very quietly
The
posted
defenders
up.
just lose sight of him. A great pass by Marcus.
Yeah, look at that. No one's around him. Easy.
It's excellent. And we're going to get going here as Lenape Valley will win this face-off. Some more great defense from R.J. Stein, but I think he's going to be called for something. That's Nate Kuhl coming off the field for Lenape Valley, and Bradley Carpenter coming onto the field for the Patriots. Sharnikow is controlling it from the top of the zone, and he just fires this one past Phillips.
Wow. It's an impressive goal.
Oh, boy, we are seeing some offensive firepower here today.
I mean, there was nothing complicated about this shot. We'll see it on replay here. He's just going to go ahead and decide. Look at how big of a windup he takes. Low, hands real low on the stick to create maximum torque.
17 yards out.
Yeah.
The upper quadrant of the goal. Well, that's a bit difficult to stop.
This one's won again by Lenape Valley.
Galligan down low to Conrad, and this one squirts away.
That was 3 seconds from face-off to at the net.
And great defense there. Looks like that is Collins who knocked it away.
Gotta get it up.
5 seconds to go. Marcus just heaves it towards the goal. And will go out of bounds with a second remaining. And it will be Lenape Valley ball, so they will just get it in here and end the quarter. But what a fantastic quarter it was. The clock will wind down. We will head into the fourth. And wow.
Got ourselves a ball game.
Came into the quarter. Blair down 8-5. Blair now up 12-11. A fantastic quarter there. Matt Collins with 5 goals on the day. Lexi Kemp added 2 in the third quarter. Zach Hoffman added 1 in that quarter.
Yeah, let's see if we can take a look here at Collins, one of Collins' goals in this quarter. Again, most of these goals are just executions of cycles and plays. And just being, well, not that one. That was all Collins. Again, he's been able to do that all day. And then we'll see Kemp here with the 10th goal of the game, able to create some space, puts the brakes on, wraps it around. No one on him, decides to go ahead and just pooch that one in.
Pooch it.
And here we see, I think this is Hoffman's goal. Patty Moe creating space. Dumps it off, whistles that one in.
That was a really impressive shot by Hoffman, using the turf to his advantage there.
Yeah, he bounced that one a good 3 or 4 yards early, and then we see Kemp's last goal here. Just an unbelievable display of persistence, and look, yep, wide open. Draws the defenders in. I think that was Patty Moe drawing defenders in.
That was Marcus, actually.
Oh, that was Marcus.
Yeah.
Yep, 14.
Found a bit of a groove there in the third quarter. So he needs to stay hot here for Blair to come out victorious. Of our friends tuning into the live stream in the next room, I believe. Is that what it was, or were they attempting
I think they were selfieing.
Oh. Okay, so they certainly were not tuning into the live stream.
No, but they might be now.
But you can if you go to Blair's homepage. If you go to strivenetwork.tv, you can see all of the games that we've covered for Blair all season long. We did 7 in the winter, 6 in the fall. We're going to do 7, I believe 8 actually here in the spring. This is game number 1. As we will get things started here in the fourth, Blair with a 1-goal lead.
12 minutes of action sure to come.
And that was a little messy. They call a hold on Blair, so it'll be Patriot ball.
Yeah, I think Blair got the stick underneath his arm and just clamped down, so that's a hold. It's a nice trick. It works in hockey all the time.
And a nice stop by Phillips as this one comes in off the stick of Conrad. And Blair controlling the loose ball. Looks like that's Sisler. Great job keeping his stick out in front. He will cross midfield. Sisler over to Hoffman. Hoffman unable to control it.
He's got to get that back, and he does.
Hoffman 10 yards out, and this one is taken in by Hostler.
Wow.
A nifty pass from Sharnikow, it looks like, but it'll be Blair ball.
Yeah, it didn't quite end up like he designed, but a cool-looking play. Got a wow out of me. Doesn't take much, though.
Well, Stein will take it in for the Bucs. R.J. Stein quietly having a fantastic game today, and Powers now controls it for Blair. Hoffman finds Marcus. Marcus can be very dangerous. Finds Hoffman on the other side. Hoffman loses it.
He was looking to shoot that before he even got the pass.
And they get it back to Collins. Collins, a.k.a. Bobby Lee Swagger. Marcus looking for an opening. Looking for someone in front of the net. Lenape Valley doing a fantastic job on defense so far this possession. Marcus, 20 yards out.
There's a lane.
There's Collins, and Collins finds a way to the back of the net once again.
Sure thing.
Matt Collins is inventing angles on this field.
He saw an open line, and that's all he needed. Take another look here, but
If Matt Collins were given a bow and arrow and unleashed into the Hunger Games,
he'd win.
he'd be a 20-1 favorite.
It'd be, couldn't bet against him. I mean, his accuracy, and you know he was looking top shelf, upper left corner on that. Absolutely.
Doesn't even need a bow and arrow. You can just use a lacrosse stick. That's unconventional, right?
It sure is.
And here he goes again. This one will go above the crossbar, so this one will not find the net. Collins having a fantastic game. It is a season high in goals, potentially a career high. We'd have to check Elias Sports Bureau for that information.
How many goals does he have this game? Was that his fifth?
No, I think he's creeping in the 6-7 range. I definitely missed one on my scorecard here. He's going to try once again. This one deflected, almost ricocheted in, and Kemp is going to dive, and he will.
That's a great play to save possession.
That is fantastic. He will ensure possession for the Bucs. Kemp will control it. He's going to find Marcus. Powers now looking for it. Thought about it. He's going to get it back to Collins. Marcus fires this one off the left knee of the goaltender. This one will be picked up by Patty Morrison. Collins is going to fight to get this one again, and they're going to set it up once again.
Look how much differently this Blair offense looks in this quarter than it did in the first. I mean, able to set up, great cycles, passes are crisp. I know I've probably said that 3 or 4 times, but it's really, it's really given them this lead right now, the change and the transformation that's taken place here.
And you can, I think you can be sure that Coach Wenner, Coach Goggins pulled Collins aside and said, hey, do not get cheated this quarter. And there he goes once again.
Same shot. Same exact shot from the same spot. He's just able to find that lane and rip it.
He is on fire. Matt Collins, we're going to give him 8 goals on the day. We will try to confirm that, but I believe the number is at 8. We've got 3 from Lexi Kemp. We've got 1 from Hoffman. We've got 1 from Marcus. So that's 5. So he might even be at 9.
That's I don't know what his career high is, but I feel like we're getting close, if not have just passed it. It's the first face-off loss in a couple of tries by Blair.
He will lose this. The score is 14-11 in favor of the Buccaneers, who look like they have taken complete control of this game. But this Lenape Valley offense has proven to be outstanding all game long. And this one knocked away. Great defense, but there will be a flag. And they're going to call this infraction on number 7, Rich Erlinson, who will spend some time in the box.
Gonna pull back and see if we can see it. I'm not exactly sure where it is. There's 7, and it just flat out levels them.
Well, you got to like the physical play out of Erlinson, especially this late in the game. But I think that one came in a little bit too tardy, Derek.
Yeah, and you know, he wasn't trying to lay him out here either. I think that was them crossing paths. He was trying to make a direct line to play that ball, and someone got in his way. And you know, you're not going to stop a train, are you?
Sharnikow fires this one, It is off the mark, and Phillips does a great job to get the ball back into Blair's hands. 7:45 to go in the game. Blair up 3. Cooper Clark is off to the races once again. Cooper Clark in his neon green sliding shorts. Flag comes in, and he is a bit shaken up, a little frustrated. And they are going to call a slash on Michael Conrad on Cooper Clark, and Clark is in some significant pain here on the Blair bench.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up here again. It's great having these replays available for us to see, but oh yeah,
there's the second one right there that caught nothing but skin.
I think he might have caught that one in the gentleman's area. That's why he's doubled over in pain right now. So stomach obviously hurting.
Erlinson back into the game for the Bucs. And the Blair back into the ball back into the Blair offensive zone. Marcus and Patty Morrison and Lexi Kemp moving the ball quickly, weaving in and out of the Lenape Valley defenders.
Excellent cycle going on right here. You see those guys just circling around each other. There's an errant pass. We'll give it to Lenape.
Yeah, so an ill-advised, maybe not ill-advised, just a poorly executed pass there by Marcus. Gets the ball back in the hands of the Patriots. Just under 7 minutes to go here in the game. Both teams with 3 timeouts have not used any here in the second half. Sharnikow has been the offensive juggernaut for Lenape Valley. He's going to cross midfield, and he's going to go to work now. Sisler giving chase. Powers giving chase. Conrad back into the game off of his penalty. Conrad, a nice move on Powers. Another flag coming in. Delayed penalty. Conrad fights his way in. And just as easy as that, pulls Lenape Valley to within 2 goals. So Conrad, a fantastic job of positioning there, getting himself in front of the net, and just putting it in.
I'm trying to see where the infraction happened. I guess it already happened at this point, but I'd like to know what it was. No one went down. The resulting action is a hard-earned goal through a couple of defenders.
14-12. Couldn't have asked for a better game. Couldn't have asked for better weather here at Hampshire Field. We will be back tomorrow to stream the baseball game against the rival Petty School. And then we'll be back Saturday for our girls lacrosse matchup against Sparta High School. And then back once again on Sunday to see Blair take on the Salisbury School from Salisbury, Connecticut. Sunny Salisbury, Connecticut. That will be a game for the ages. Maybe not for the ages, but that's going to be a really, really good game. You have some incredible talent on the field in that game. Able to see both teams down in Florida. Obviously followed Blair's season closely last year. Coach Stone has done a fantastic job with that program in the recent years.
Collins getting in it on defense.
And Stein with a nice move enables his teammate Patty Morrison to come up with it. Now Blair's got some numbers. Marcus. Oop. That's Bailey Ress, I believe, giving him some grief. And Powers back into the game for the Bucs. Powers going to wind up and fire this one. Hostler with a nice save. Kemp with the putback opportunity is no good. Morrison fighting for it. Powers gets it. Powers now controls it.
Nice job by Powers to get in there and scoop that one up. Taking quite a bit of harassment from a long stick defender.
A nice move by Hoffman, but this shot is off the mark. And it will remain in Blair's possession here. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. Powers has it once again. He's looking for Collins. Lenape Valley forced to defend Collins way far away from the net. And it allows for stuff like that to happen. Lexi Kemp with his 4th goal of the game 15-12 now the score in favor of the Bucs.
And I think if I saw that right, that was number 6 Powers, who really was the catalyst on that play. Like to highlight him a little bit, get more of him in the action. But yeah, it was. You know, he's able to draw some defenders. Had a nice spin move in between 2 Lenape Valley defenders. Opened up the middle for Kemp to just dump it in.
Chris Powers, the senior from New York State, one of the 4 captains on this Blair Academy team. And here comes Lenape Valley. Cartwright to Chazik. Chazik's going to find Dulio. Dulio defended by Clark.
Thought about winding up and ripping a shot from 15 yards out.
Now this is Erlinson on Conrad. Conrad the shot. Nice save by JC Phillips, and here goes Cooper Clark. Clark with a good pass to Hoffman, but Hoffman can't control it. And here comes Lenape Valley once again. It's Bailey Ressa. Knocked to the turf by Hoffman. Flags come in.
Yeah, flags everywhere on that one. That was pretty obvious for the viewers at home. We'll get a push right in front of the camera. Take a quick look here. You'll see that you just can't do that. He got beat, a little frustrated, so almost had an angle on his left side shoulder, but not quite yet. He knew. Head down, oopsie daisy.
So Hoffman will sit this one out for about a minute. 3.5 to go here.
And you know, just before the end of the quarter, we saw how quickly, from a face-off, you can get down there to scoring position. 3 seconds, I counted it. So with 3 minutes to go, there's still plenty of time. Blair just needs to be able to contain and keep on applying offensive pressure.
Well, they will get it back now off the turnover from Lenape Valley as Clark gets it back to Phillips. Phillips going to go to work here, comes out to about the 20, and hands it off to Erlinson, who gets it poked away by Sharnikow. And it will be a timeout.
Fortuitous call.
Be a timeout for Blair. And Derek, we've been talking so much about the offense, but some of the defense today has been really impressive as well. As Cooper Clark, we saw him get shaken up a little bit, taking a slash from the defender from the midfielder for Lenape Valley, but Clark has been fantastic. Clark from Rumson, New Jersey. He's only a junior, so the Bucs will have him again next year. Has really been a positive influence on this team. You see how athletic he is. You see how well he moves for somebody his size. So a welcome addition to this Blair Academy varsity squad here. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go here. This has been quite the exciting game. A 3-goal lead for Blair. Kemp, Morrison, and Marcus will be on the attack for Blair. We have Powers, Clark, Hoffman at midfield. I'm sorry. Collins, Hoffman, and Powers at midfield. And we have Clark, Stein, and Erlinson on defense for the Bucs. Collins falls to the turf immediately, and there will be a penalty on Lenape Valley. So heading to the box is Bailey Ressa. Had that beautiful goal at the end of the first half. Entering the game for Blair Academy in place of Zach Hoffman is Wyatt Long. Wyatt, the sophomore from Hardwick, New Jersey. Had a goal against Kittatinny earlier in the season.
We'll take a minute in the sin bin. Or sin field.
Actually, that penalty is not on Ressa. It's on Evan Cartwright, it appears. So ball back in play now for the Bucs. 2:30 to go. Morrison behind the net. He's got some room. He'll get it back out to Collins. Collins once again gets some space. He'll find Marcus. Collins and Marcus have switched their positioning on the field. And the shot from long goes off the crossbar. Scramble in front. Kemp gets it but loses it. And here is Patty Morrison back out to Griffin Marcus. And Marcus sails this one over Hostler's head. It's about 2 minutes to go here. Patriots will take over. And Lenape Valley trying to get something going, and that is outstanding. Sharnikow gets them to within 2 goals. The score now 15-13.
From quite a long ways away. I think I was almost fooled at the fake pass here, which you'll see in a second. I think they cross up, and nope, I still got it and just going to sail it in. I'd get out of the way of that one, too.
Very impressive showing from 2 center midfielders for both squads. Minute 40 to go here. JT Carell fighting for it, but eventually loses it to Hayden DuPont. They're going to slow it down now in the Blair zone. Engelhart will enter the game, and a timeout will be taken. I believe that is a Lenape Valley timeout.
Yes, sure is. With 1.5 minutes to go, they got to set something up to get 2 goals.
1.5 minutes to go, Derek. In these situations, you want to be cautious to not play the game you don't play the game not to lose, right? You play the game to win. So I think the best defense for Blair in this case should be their aggressive offense.
Yeah, they have to keep pushing. I mean, you certainly don't want to leave one long stick defender back all by himself, but by no means should they just stack the house in front of the net and just wait for a shot. Ideally, they keep on maintaining the pressure that they've been applying this past quarter, which has turned out to be very successful because, like we saw entering the fourth quarter, or even the second half, they were down quite a bit. And with that constant pressure and ability to create offensive plays, they've been able to take the lead here. And with 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes to go and up by 2, that's not enough to just sit back on their heels and wait. So ideally, you'd want Blair to score another goal here.
15-13 is the score. Minute 27 on the clock. We'll fix that on our graphic here. It has been so far. It has been the Matt Collins show and the Fred Sharnikow show, and we want to kind of put a disclaimer in there. Our roster did not have a 25 on it, but it did have a 35, and we do not see a 35 on the bench, but we do see a 25 that's scoring all these goals. So what did we do? We just replaced them with one another. So we are officially referring to the man, the myth, the legend,
Mr. X
of Fred Sharnikow, as the man that's been scoring all of the goals for Lenape Valley. And we are not 100% positive that these goals should be attributed to a Mr. Fred Sharnikow.
We've been using deductive reasoning.
Yes. So we are underway here with 1 minute 20 seconds to go. And Phillips with a beautiful save. And Stein will control it for the Bucs. 1:10 to go. He launches this one across midfield. And Pat Morrison, shades of Willie Mays Hayes, beats the defender down the field, but Lenape Valley will take control.
That's a good no flag there, and everyone was just racing to it. Their feet got caught up, maybe a little bit of a shove, but nothing huge. As
Stein is going to pick this one up, gets past Conrad, but Conrad gets it back. Deflected by Sisler. Sharnikow once again. In front of the net, another goal. That's Conrad. Have 37 seconds to go, and Lenape Valley is within 1.
Okay, this is it right here. This face-off is going to be huge. Blair has to win it and be able to maintain possession. So if ever there was a face-off to win, it's right now.
And in to take the face-off is the leader, one of the captains, Matt Collins.
Let's go straight into him, boy.
Collins will face off with Hayden DuPont.
Tie it up for as long as you can. Wow,
And
great face-off win.
DuPont comes away with it. And it is
Timeout.
And a timeout is going to be called by Lenape Valley. They have 30 seconds to draw something up and tie this game, potentially send it into overtime. And here is the biggest test yet for Blair's defense.
Certainly this game, I mean, this is all what it all comes down to. You got to protect this win here. And so, you know, with 30 seconds to go, you might be thinking, yeah, let's stack the house. Let's just man everyone up and make it as crowded as possible. Don't let them get a clean shot off.
Blair and Lenape Valley have both had the unfortunate circumstance of the opposing attackmen kind of swivel their way and losing sight of them behind them as they've been able to position themselves easily in front of the net. That is something that absolutely cannot happen. You can't have anybody come in front of the net.
That's right.
Create any kind of screen for JC Phillips, your incredible goaltender. You have to keep that space as clean as you possibly can. And if they're going to beat you, let them beat you from far away.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. You certainly don't want to screen your goalie. You want to have him to have a nice look. And at the same time, you don't want them to get a shot off because, you know, they've been able to score fairly easily just by throwing it at the feet. So don't let them get close.
Stein on Chazik. Chazik gets by him. Chazik, a poor pass at the feet. The ground ball being fought for. And it winds up into the stick of JC Phillips. Phillips is going to run around with it. We have 10 seconds to go. Cooper Clark now has it for the Bucs. They just need to be careful here.
And
Clark
he does.
launches it with 4 seconds to go. It goes out of bounds with 2 seconds on the clock.
You know, anything could happen in 2 seconds. You saw how quickly they were able to get down. I'd like to think this is it right here, and we're just doing a little bit of pomp and circumstance to get the game over, but yeah.
And here it comes.
That's it.
And that'll do it here.
What a win.
Huge win for Blair Academy. They improved to 5-6 on the year. Lenape Valley drops to 8-5 on the year. A huge win, and we saw an incredible performance by one of the captains, the leader of this Blair Buccaneer team, Matt Collins.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at a number of his goals here. And by the end, hopefully we'll figure out how many, but his one of his first goals of the game was the first goal of the game. And you'll see it right here. Collins just up top, able to create some space with a quick move, fires it in there for the first goal. And then for the fourth goal of the game, it was Collins again able to create some great space and just rip shots. I mean, I can go on for, you know, probably 5 minutes just talking about Collins, but, you know, here we go again, able to take his time, eye up a lane, one quick move. It seems that's his quick move to dart left, plant, and then put the stick in his right hand and fire across his body. He did that on a number of times. And here we saw another goal by Collins. This one set up by, was that Marcus? Yeah, able to, I think that's the most impressive goal he had all day.
A career day for the senior from Long Island, Matt Collins, making his presence felt, and now he will be remembered forever as the, you know, the sharpshooter of Hampshire Field.
This might have been the highest scoring day by an individual on this field.
Could
for
have been.
Blair.
And this will be something that he'll take with him forever. So, Matt Collins, we thank you for the performance. It was something to see.
What an exciting first lacrosse broadcast for us to do.
We will be back tomorrow to stream the baseball game against Petty. On Saturday, we'll be back here at Hampshire Field for the girls lacrosse game. And then on Sunday, we'll return to Wakefield Diamond for the Blair game against the Salisbury School. For everybody here at Blair Academy and for Derek Raymond, I'm Tom Monfiletto. Have a great evening, everyone. Again, the score, Blair 15, Lenape Valley 14, and we'll see you next time.